We have on our bench racing hotline the latest winner out at Toledo Speedway in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Ken Schrader joins us. Hi, Ken. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's good to be on. Thanks for having us.
Hey, does it bother you that every headline that I've seen so far it talks about you being the oldest winner in an ARCA race?
No, that's better than being the oldest loser. So I don't have a problem with that. I can't control that age thing. It just keeps coming. But we're still okay.
It's the first time you've been back to Toledo in a while. You'd had Tommy Hessert in your car for the last couple of years. And take you any time to get reacclimated to the racetrack at all?
No, I mean, we've been there enough times, and we came with the same basic type car, same basic setup as we've run there the last couple of years with Tom. And they didn't change the track any since the last time I was there, so it's still just pretty much a circle, so it wasn't. It didn't take a lot of time to get used to it.
One of the things that always kind of amazed Charlie and I when we would see you come to someplace like Toledo was that you don't have these huge condominiums that you bring out onto pit lane, and you've got kind of a utilitarian group of stuff. It would kind of lead us to believe that you do kind of have all this stuff figured out from all the times that you go to all these racetracks. Is there something about specific racetracks that you can kind of take from one to another, or do you just kind of have this thing all figured out down to the nth degree?
Well, man, it's just not that complicated. They're all just circles, and you just gotta go down one straightaway and make a U and come back. I mean, obviously there are some differences in that. There's just only so much stuff you really need to take with you. And the fact that we've been to these places enough times, like we go into Elko now, this will only be the second time that the ARCA Series has run there. But my boys ran there last year with Tom. He did a real good job. And we're taking the same car. We're going to change the gear in one spring and go back and see how that works out.
I think that is a great approach, and it almost does sound too simple to be true, but a lot of these guys, I almost have to think that they kind of overthink some of this stuff at times. It can't be as complicated as they make it out to be. At least I don't think so.
Well, it can be pretty complicated, but it's not that like I said, it's still just the same thing. You do the same stuff, and everything's changed a little bit since we started doing it, but all the basics are the same. It's actually easier now than it was then because we're not having to build our cars. Heck, you buy them. I mean, I'm thinking more of the short track stuff and that, but we're doing the same stuff we always did.
We're talking to Kenny Schrader, who won the latest Menards 200 at Toledo Speedway this past weekend in the ARCA Series. Kenny, every place that Steve and I have been where you have shown up, you seem to be probably the most popular driver among the fans and I'm talking about the ARCA Series, at the track. Is there anything that you think you've done specifically for that? Because it's obvious to us. Every place we go on where you have been an entry in the ARCA Series, you're the guy that the fans are cheering for.
Well, I don't think I think we're just so damn old that they don't know all the kids yet, and some of them remember who we are, or they remember their parents talking about us or something. So, and we've just been there for a long time, and I think that's what's caused a lot of that.
Well, that might be part of it, but I think there's more to it than that. I think it's the way you represent yourself in the sport in general, and people know that. But I'm going to switch tracks. I want to go to the big series. I know you weren't in the All-Star race at Charlotte this past weekend, though you have been in it many times in the past. There's been a lot of talk about, and NASCAR made changes to the format of that race this year again. And they just keep trying to tweak this thing to where it's an interesting event. Steve and I have had our own opinions about what maybe you could do, and they're probably not worth the airtime. But what would you do? I mean, if you were in charge of that race, what would you do to make it an interesting show, not just for the fans, but for the drivers that are competing in it?
Well, I watched it from the hotel at Toledo Saturday night, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. You know, Jimmy Johnson, you know, dug himself in a hole in qualifying, and he was able to move forward all night long. But you know, I like the average. Last year, Jimmy kind of stunk it up by starting up front at the last segment like that, and not really competing in the other ones. You know, having to drive real hard because he knew if he won the first one, he'd get started up front on the last one. I like the fact that they came in the pits with their average finish of the first four segments, and then it was a mandatory 4-tire stop, so the pit crews were involved there. I liked it a lot. You know, we didn't see a big wreck. We saw them try to wreck, but everybody always kept it gathered up. You know, I thought it was a good show.
The other big piece of news just came out yesterday was that Bruton Smith talking about moving one of the Charlotte races to Las Vegas. You have an opinion on that?
Those are his races. He can do whatever he wants with them. You know, I mean, I would do if it was me and those were all my facilities. I would probably look at that. There's enough races in the Southeast. The Vegas race is very popular because it's very much of a destination location, and I think that I'd move one out there if it was me.
We're talking with Kenny Schrader, and a bit of sad news this last week was the passing of Dick Trickle, and I got to believe that you have a Dick Trickle story somewhere back in your archives. Anything good pop to mind as far as story-wise with Dick?
Oh man, there's so many of them. It'd take forever. I mean, Dick taught so many people how to race, how to work on the cars, just about the business in general. But one time we were at Slinger, Wisconsin, and I had no car that I wasn't very happy with. And after qualifying night on Monday night, I told him, I said, "Man, Tuesday I need you to drive my car, Dick." And he said, "Okay." Well, I took it down for him to get into it. Where he was pitted, and he was like, "You just stay in it." He said, "The driver's probably not the biggest problem we got here." So he said, "You just be in it. You stay in it, and I'll be your crew chief for a half hour." So I'd go out and run a couple laps, come in, tell him what it was doing, and he'd work on the car, and he got us running about half a second quicker, real quick.
Wow, that's amazing. They say he won 1,000 features. Is that a number that's plausible in your mind? I mean, I got to figure. I mean, hell, you run 400 races a year. I guess it's possible, huh?
Well, that's I've heard anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200. It's more than anybody else has won, that's for sure. But in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s, and that up in the Wisconsin area, they were racing 6-7 nights a week. So, and he was winning all the time. He won 67 in 1 year. So that number's very much realistic.
Yeah. Let's talk about what you have ahead of you as far as the rest of this season goes. I know you got 10 Cup races that was planned for this year, plus a few ARCA races. Tell me about your dirt schedule as well.
Well, we're going to run dirt car probably 60 to 70 times. I think we've already run it right at 20. This weekend we're running Wednesday through Monday, so we got 6 coming up this weekend. And we still got 6 Cup races left, a couple truck for sure, and I think 3 more ARCA. So we're gonna get in plenty of racing.
Kenny, are you running the truck race at Eldora?
Yes, sir, we are.
Oh, that ought to be awesome. What kind of preparation are you doing for that? What can you do?
Well, they're a very good decision is they're not really letting you do anything special to the trucks.
Okay.
So that means that everybody just got to go drive what they got, which will be good because we didn't want to have to be cutting our trucks apart and using them, making drastic changes just for one dirt race. So it's going to be good. I mean, the ARCA series runs at DuQuoin and Springfield, Illinois on the dirt and have for a number of years. So. And you just take your short track car. So we're going to take our short track truck and go have some fun.
Talk to me about tires for that. What is Goodyear come up with a tire? I assume they must have a set of tires for the trucks for dirt, huh?
Yeah, Goodyear's coming up with tires, but they've had all these tires in the past. I mean, they've had good late model dirt tires, and they're just doing a little tweaking for the heavier vehicle and that. And we're going to have a test day up there on Tuesday night, July 23rd. So it ought to be a heck of a show.
All right, Kenny Schrader, thanks so much for spending time with us. Congratulations again on your win here at Toledo. Always enjoy talking to you. We'll do it again soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank
Ken
you.
Schrader.
Okay,
One of the really good guys. And I knew he'd be racing at Eldora. There's no way you would miss that show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, there you go. That's Ken Schrader. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Charlie's going to talk with Dan Beaver.
Yeah.